It will be done my way.
Are you an Alpha Lycan or a vampire elder? Welcome to another episode of our Underworld series. Today, we will talk about the social structure of vampires and Lycans. Starting with the Lycans, at the top of the Lycan social order is the Alpha or the leader, which we see in the characters of Lucian, Dr. Jacob Lane, and Marius. The Alpha's job is to keep the Lycan clan safe. He also must organize his pack to advance their interests, which is to eliminate the vampires. The leader does not have to be the smartest, but he has to be the strongest. Under the Alpha Lycan is the Beta Lycan, which can be compared to a right-hand person or an underboss. In the movie series, these are the characters of Reyes and Quint. The job of the Beta Lycan is to enforce the action plans and commands of the Alpha. For example, it was Reyes who was assigned to trail and kidnap Michael, and Quint was in charge of the attack in one of the vampire covens after the purge. Below the Beta Lycan is the Gamma Lycan, third in command. An example of a Gamma Lycan we came to know was Singe. He was a biochemist and he served to advance the pack's interest within the bounds of science. Singe was looking for a pureblood, a direct descendant of Alexander Corvinus, so they could create hybrids. The other Gamma Lycans are the ones who worked with Dr. Jacob Lane in his medical research facility, Antigen. The Delta, or the soldier, is at the bottom of the Lycan pack. They go to war against vampires and serve as bodyguards or enforcers of the other pack leaders. The Lycan pack in the Underworld territory was never shown as one that expands across oceans. Unlike vampires, the Lycans are not as highly organized. They did not have dens in several parts of the world. They lived in tunnels or forests, and they did not have the social and political sophistication of vampires. At the top of the vampire social order are the elders, and the first three are Victor, Amelia, and Marcus. Marcus is the first vampire in the Underworld universe, and although he is supposed to be the most powerful, Victor and Amelia undermined his leadership, but that is a story for another time. Subscribe if you want to get notified once I release that video. The three elders used to be active at the same time, but after they had gained an advantage over the werewolves, they decided to split the leadership in terms of time, which they called the Chain. In this agreement, they took turns ruling the vampires. As such, only one elder is awake to rule for 1,000 years, while the other two are asleep. Next in the hierarchy of vampires is the Council. It comprises the most powerful vampires, and they are responsible for creating and enacting laws. They are also authorized to pass judgment on vampires who broke their laws, much like judges and politicians of our time. Next to a council member is a regent, someone in charge if the elder is not around. Craven is a regent in the first Underworld movie, tasked by Victor to oversee his coven's affairs while he is away. Next in line are the death dealers, like Selene. The original death dealers were the warriors of Victor many centuries ago when he was a warlord. The main job of the death dealer is to hunt and kill Lycans. They also must guard elders who are traveling, as seen in Amelia's homecoming, where she and her crew were ambushed by Lycans. Death dealers can rise to power if they prove their worth. Craven used to be a death dealer before becoming a regent. Selene, on the other hand, eventually became an elder. The other vampires are the ordinary people and the aristocrats, who have no direct involvement with running the covens. They are still part of the covens or families, and they are likely very rich, supplying the modern vampire race with money. In Lycan society, no vote happens as far as leadership is concerned. The most powerful and vicious will take charge. With vampires, the elders can only be replaced by vote or by right of birth. This is why Selene and David eventually became elders in the last installment of the film. If you were a vampire or a Lycan, which one are you? Let me know in the comments, and do not forget to subscribe. See you in the next episode.